Why are you already laughing?
There's the 5 seconds. Because I'm already like, he goes, give me a 5-second count, and I'm already like, what is she gonna say?
I don't have anything to say. You're wearing the nice tank top.
Well, it's brand new. It's brand new. I just bought it yesterday.
You ended up wearing the new one?
No.
Oh, I was gonna
I'm just saying that.
Oh.
Because
you
maybe
mean it's not 3 days dirty?
Well, no, maybe people will be like, oh, Steve got a new, because it's just black, so it's in general.
Gotcha.
Anyway, you're taking me off track. We have been getting hit up so much. Oh, first of all, welcome to our podcast. I am Steve Trevino. That is the original Captain Evil. I know there's a lot of you out there, but everybody's been asking about the baby bump.
The baby bump.
And since we didn't do an episode last week, I think that they're going to notice that you're more pregnant. So get up. They want to see it.
Show the baby
Yes,
bump.
Stand up. Show people.
It's there.
The baby. It's
The,
weird.
the wide angle.
You look good.
Thank you, baby.
Didn't you already wear that shirt?
No.
Because you were so mad. Today she comes in how was it today or yesterday? She's like, well, my delivery of my clothes should be here.
My rented clothes didn't come in. They were supposed to come in yesterday.
Where's my rented clothes? And then, so we went 2 weeks without doing a show, and then all of a sudden you were like, last night, like, well, what are we going to talk about?
See, I am. I'm nervous for today, Rick, because I have asked him several times, because I know we've had a week off, what we were going to talk about today, and you purposely would just laugh and not tell me.
No, because normally we're doing it week to week, and it's like, okay, let's make sure that we have something.
Yes.
Right? 2 weeks ago.
We've been collecting 2 weeks worth of stuff to talk about.
And by the way, so me and you will start fighting at home in front of our road manager, Timmy, and Timmy will be like, hey man, save it for the podcast. He'll be like, y'all need to go do a podcast.
Yeah, it's because you didn't record an episode last week.
Oh, he's like, oh, you didn't record an episode? You didn't get your bitching session?
We're harboring a lot of angst.
So, yes, you're like, oh my God, what are we going to talk about? And I'm like, no, there's so much that happened in these past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
My sister came to visit. We had the girls.
Yes.
Her 3 daughters, which by the way, and I don't know, I mean, you don't have nieces and nephews, or nieces like I do. These little girls were these goofy, fun little girls that would crawl on top of me and we'd wrestle, and Nene would try to fart in my face, and
which she still does.
Well, yeah, but it's Terry, it's like they're growing up into little ladies, and it just sucks, man. It's just
different.
It's different, and Kinsley's got the boyfriend drama, and they giggle a lot, and they're
all into their TikTok.
They're into their
After
TikTok.
They left, Garrett was like, "Mom, give me your phone. I'm taking TikTok off your phone."
Well, because then the girls they wouldn't even really play with Garrett as much as they did.
Yeah.
But it's just a weird transition for me to see my little nieces and the relationship that we had when they were these little girls. It's just different now.
Yeah.
And they're just, too cool for school. They're all cheerleaders, and by the way, and they dress, and I'm like, your butt is hanging out. I'm like, is this?
I think you were particularly observant of them this time around because now you're having a girl. So every little thing they did was on your mind.
But Kenny and Victoria, Kenny Wayne and Victoria showed up. We had the girls from.
They showed up. Your dad and Sarah showed up. Jamie showed up. Y'all, I had 8 people and 2 dogs sleeping at my house.
Well, yeah, and Dad was like, "Can I bring my dog, Yeti?" His dog's name is Yeti. He's like, "Can I bring Yeti?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's fine. Bring Yeti." It's a Malamute. It's huge, wow. Right? And my dad's out there like, "Yeti, stop, Yeti! Yeti, cut! Lay down, Yeti!" That's all you hear in my backyard. So Dad comes, Sarah comes, Kenny Wayne and Victoria come.
Yeah.
And then Kenny and I were like, okay, we're going to have a drink. And I've become kind of a wine snob. I like really good wine, and one of my favorite wineries is Duckhorn. I love Duckhorn Merlot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, right, Terry? It's my favorite. Absolutely. So I had 2 bottles, and I said, okay, I'm going to have a bottle Friday, and then I'll have a bottle
You're
Saturday.
drinking all the fancy stuff without me now.
And then I know, dude, me and Kenny in the backyard finished both bottles. Then we finished.
I didn't even know Kenny drank wine.
Then we finished a brand new bottle of Crown Royal.
Whoa.
No, but the funniest part is we just got it as a gift. They put it back in the bag, and then they put the bag back in the box.
We didn't want to get in trouble. So then well, here's where I messed up. So, my house, every time you go in, it's like back door open. Like, you know what I mean? It tells on you. So we're in the backyard, and we're like, hey, man, if we go back in, we can't be going back and forth, right? I go, so we'll both get a big Yeti, and we'll fill it up with Crown, and that way we don't have to go back in and out, right? Back door open. So we poured the Crown in both of our Yetis. We topped the Yeti. We put the box back together because we're like, okay, this is ridiculous. The girls can't wake up and see 2 empty bottles of wine and an empty bottle of Crown Royal with 2 dudes, right? So we go outside, and then all of a sudden, before you know it, I'm like, I'm out of Crown. And he's like, well, I'm out of Crown. Is there any more? And he's like, no, that was the bottle.
In the 2 Yetis.
And the 2 Yetis. So we left it back in the box. But I woke up great. I felt good. I woke up great.
You took a real long nap that day.
And Dad, dude, Dad just, like, he comes to our new house. And by the way, it was funny because I told the girls, I said, okay, who's the better house cleaner? Miss Dora or Grandma Sarah? Right? And they were like, ooh.
I was safe to say on the podcast.
So they were like, well, I don't want to. They were like, I don't want to say anything. And then it turned into like a real debate where they were like, well, Miss Dora's fast. I mean, she cleans fast. And then Kinsey's like, yeah, but Sarah's like stealth. Sarah will clean slowly, but before you know it, the whole house is clean. So they came up with the idea that they're a tie. So then we had them over, and then your parents come over the next week.
Yeah. We had, 3 days without house guests?
Oh, my God, dude.
Oh, no. Yeah. And then my folks came.
And Daddy Raymond, oh, my God, dude, he wears a patchouli oil cologne.
That is seeped into his pores
it's
for
not
the last
patchouli.
30 years.
It's not patchouli, but it's like this
I
oil.
think it is, actually. I'm not sure.
No, he said it's not, because patchouli is like a specific oil.
Yeah.
It's like a patchouli type. And dude, the whole freaking guest room smells like Daddy Raymond, right? Like
My
I know.
folks checked out, and the new guests checked in the next day, and we'd wash the sheets and change the bedding, and they were like, your parents were just here.
Yeah,
huh?
it smells like your dad, right? So he gets there. The night that he gets there, I'm working on the shelf. I'm gonna put shelves in my garage to store my chainsaws, my man shit. You know what I mean? I got man things, and I gotta store my chainsaw. So he gets there that night, and immediately, what are you doing? I go, I'm gonna put a shelf. Don't do it. I'll help you tomorrow.
Oh, I think you strategically started that project knowing he was coming.
You know I don't stop. So, dude, he shows up. We wake up the next day. You don't want to use that plywood. Not that. That's the wrong plywood. Why did you buy that plywood? And I'm like, oh my God, dude, am I working with my wife? He goes, come on, let's go to Home Depot, right? So we go to Home Depot.
My dad does not talk like that either, by the way.
Yes, he does. He talks like this, Mary, like that's how he talks. So we go to Home Depot. Oh no, you need this plywood. And by the way, it's like $60 for a sheet of plywood. I'm like, okay, Raymond, no, I'm telling you, it's what you need. You're using the wrong screws. I'm like, the trim you're getting, it needs to be 5-inch. You're only getting, I'm like, all right, dude. So he completely takes my job over. Completely, just like you would.
I was gonna say, you're not that surprised. Like,
Oh my
really?
God,
I feel
dude.
like, hasn't this happened before?
And then he's like, well, how are you gonna do it? And I go, I'm gonna do this. No, that's not how you do it. That is not how you do it. Let me show you how to do it. And I'm like, are you freaking? And then he keeps telling me, I'm a perfectionist. It's gotta be perfect. I want it perfect, right? Dude, we go to put the board in, and it doesn't fit, dude. And he goes, damn it, Steve, you measured wrong. I go, Raymond, I didn't measure anything. You did all the measuring. And he goes, I don't know what you did, but it's not right. And I'm like, I didn't do anything, dude. I supported you. I brought you tools. I brought you the tape measure. I brought you the Steve Trevino finder, the stud finder. I brought you all those things. You did it wrong. And I'm like, is this happening right now? So then you go on a walk.
Oh my God, that was hilarious. So one morning I go on a walk with my mom and my dad, and we're doing real good. We're laughing. We're looking at the houses in the new neighborhood, whatever. And then towards the end, I think they'd hit their limit, like they can only be together for so long. And they started bickering about something, and I was trying so hard not to laugh because it was this like moment of realization where their fight is a fight you and I have had before.
But the other way around.
Yes, you were my mom and I was my dad. And I felt so bad for my mom in that moment. You not so much, but my mom.
Because her mom was like, you never let me make decisions.
Oh, I just pulled out my own earring.
I'm not allowed to make decisions.
Yeah.
And why does it always have to be your way, right? And Renae comes home.
I was like, my mom literally verbatim that's not going to happen. I was like, my mom literally verbatim just said what you say when we have an argument.
And I'm like, did you learn something? By the way, this is the same man that is helping me with this shelf and not letting me have any input whatsoever. And then he's like, oh no, you did. So then we put it in and it's kind of, he didn't cut it right again. So now he's got you, and I'm like, dude, we'll just cover it with the trim. Problem solved. No. I'm a perfectionist. And when I heard his feelings, I go, like your garage? Dude, his garage is a freaking nightmare.
It's a storage facility.
It's a nightmare. And he's like, well, it's because I don't have the space. I told Mary I need a storage unit. And I'm like, whoa, dude, I didn't mean to start shit.
Meanwhile, there's 2 refrigerators in there that don't work, a broken dishwasher, I think a broken treadmill, and
he's got a TV
bike.
from 1998. It still works. It still works. But it was so funny to me to hear you come back and go.
It was funny to me to realize in that moment that I am my father.
And that you're pushy and you're bossy.
Absolutely. Well, that I knew, but sure.
But
to hear him and my mom having almost the exact same argument you and I have had was just like trippy.
But I'm sitting there like, Raymond, like, dude, I would be done with this shelf. It's a freaking shelf in the garage. I would already be done. And then he's like, no. Okay, no, wrong. That's the wrong plywood. And no, we're going to, and I'm like, oh my, he goes, and then he tells me, I stayed up all night thinking about my plan, how I was going to do it. I had plans. It's like when he wrecked my truck.
Yes.
Dude, he's the...
Wait, but I don't think, did we ever tell that story on the podcast?
No, that's why...
Someone has been asking in the comments what happened to...
With Daddy Raymond and wrecking the truck. So we go fishing in my boat. It's me, your dad, and Junior, right?
Yes.
And I drive with them to pick up... They're with me. We pick up the boat in the storage. We go, and then me and Junior jump in the boat. We have your dad back us in to the spot. Then when we get back, your dad gets off the boat to back the trailer up. I see the trailer jackknife. I see him, right? So then he comes back, and then that night I can't roll down the little...
The crank thing?
Yeah, the crank thing, because it's all bent to hell. And I'm like, what happened? I look in my truck, and in the corner of my bumper is completely dented in.
Oh, it wasn't that bad, was it?
Oh my God, dude. And then here's the best part. The best part is I go, hey Raymond, look what you did. I didn't do that. Just like her. What are you talking about? I didn't, no, you're crazy. You did it. And I'm like, no dude, I know I didn't do it. You did it. And I'm like, fine, whatever. So then again in the morning, I go out and I'm gonna buy a brand new one to replace it because...
The little hitch thingy?
The wheel that comes... The cranker. And then he's like, oh, you don't want to do that. Oh, okay, Raymond, tell me what I want to do. Tell me what I want to, please. Please, for the love of God, tell me what I want to do. No, you're wasting money. We gotta pull the dent out. I'm like, oh my God, dude, let's just buy a new one. Please, for the love of God.
Pull the dent out of the cranker? Can you do that?
Yeah, because you had to pull it pinched the deal in to where you couldn't pull the pin out.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So now, 3 hours of my life, in the South Texas sun,
Trying to pull the crank out.
trying to watch your dad pull the crank out.
Oh.
When I'm just like, bro, we could have bought a new one, put a new one on. And now, in my boat, it's still sticky. So every
I thought
time.
you bought a new one.
No, it's still the same
Oh.
one. Your dad said that's not what I want to do.
Oh, I thought my dad told you to go buy a new one and he would take that one.
Oh, he did try that move. He was like, "Oh, well, if you're gonna buy a new one, I want that one because that one's nice. That one's." And I'm like, "Oh my god, dude!" But the whole time we're building this shelf, I'm like, "Please, for the love of God, let's just be. I want to finish. I
They
want to
got
be
done.
done."
They got done.
Oh my god, and it took forever. Which leads to the next topic. I want the podcast people to know that things have changed in Casa Treviño.
Yes, they have. Steve got his big new TV, and I still do not have
That's not what I'm
my
talking
piece of
about.
furniture.
That's not what I'm
Things
talking
have
about.
changed in Casa Trevino.
But you don't have. Oh, you don't have the furniture for that. Why? I'm glad you brought that up because this goes right into what I'm talking about.
We don't have a piece of furniture for that because I found one, but it's very expensive, so we're not going to pull the trigger on it just yet.
Didn't I tell you to buy it?
No, you did not.
Bullshit, dude! I
No,
told you.
you did not.
You came up to me and I said, you go. I found this piece of furniture that I
We can
love.
go to the furniture store on the way home if you want.
That's fine. That's fine. Then I have to rent a U-Haul.
I just got myself a really expensive TV table.
No, you're cheating. No, let's go back to the conversation. Dude,
Film the moment that he changes his mind.
no, because Rick, no, you came up to me
See,
and
maybe
you said,
we should run topics first before we start filming.
no, I don't want to because this is what I want. I want you to reveal your true colors in front of the humans.
That you got the big screen TV
I did.
you wanted,
I
and
did.
it is
See.
on it is on a console table that it is too big for.
And I agreed with that. And if we go back to the podcast, I said that's fine if you want to get a bigger piece of furniture. So then you came up to me and you specifically said, I found the piece of furniture I want
Yes.
there. However, it's very expensive.
Yes.
And I said, hey, I already told you for some things that you love, go ahead and spend more money. Go ahead and get it.
Yes, but you were like, let's
Did I
focus
say that?
on these other things first.
Yes, which is
There
going to
are
lead
other rooms that need to be furnished
There's other
first.
goals that need to be accomplished. And that's why I get so frustrated with you. Because Renae, dude, I'm going to organize the pantry.
Oh.
I'm going to organize the pantry. I go, who gives a fuck about the pantry right now?
No, what happened?
I don't have an office. I don't have furniture in the other, and this one, there's no furniture for our daughter's room.
I didn't intend to organize the pantry. I went to IKEA to buy big, huge picture frames because
Dude.
they're less expensive there because it's plastic instead of glass. And IKEA was pretty much out of everything I was going to buy there except these really cool glass jars and wooden crates
Oh my
to
God,
organize
dude.
the pantry. And I figured if I had driven all the way to IKEA, I might as well get what they had while I was there.
I get home and there is 30 jars on the island. There's IKEA wooden boxes not put together. You got to screw them
They sell
together.
crates, but you have
They're
to put
crates,
them together.
right? And I go, so then I wake up in the morning and I go, what are your intention with all this? And she's like,
Oh no! I came
she's
in and
like,
said,
how about
"Hey."
good morning?
Yeah, I came
Can
in
I
from
get
a
a
walk.
good morning?
I came in from a walk, and the first thing he says to me is, "You think this is a good idea?"
No, that is not
And
how I
was like,
said it. I go,
said good morning.
I go, do you think, I go, what is your plan with this? Do you think this is a good idea? And you were like, what about a good morning?
You think I would have bought 30 jars and 10 crates if I thought it was a bad idea?
And then this one over here, she goes, see? She grabs the Cheerios, or the Puffins. That's what Garrett likes, the Puffins. She grabs the Puffins box. She puts it in the jar. She goes, see? How nice does that look?
And it stays fresh longer. We travel a lot. We're not
And
home
then I go,
a lot.
okay.
It stays fresh.
Okay, where the fuck are you going to put the rest, the box that still has some in it? Where does that go?
The Puffins box is small. Listen, the reason I had to organize the pantry in the first place is because you got so excited about this big new home. You went and got a Sam's Club card, and you have a serious Sam's Club problem.
No, I don't.
You have a buy in bulk problem.
Because I like to save money. I like to be efficient.
No,
I like
you're
to be
buying
convenient.
shit we never ever bought before.
Razors? I bought 40 fucking razors. So that
amount of processed
Dude, I don't
food.
want to go buy razors. I don't want to buy razors. I want to have an endless supply of razors.
No, but then what happens is, again, that's more mess for me to have to organize, because you have like 5 half-used, not completely used razors on your side of the
Are you
restroom.
kidding me? No,
I
that
went
is not.
yesterday and threw out your old razors.
I'm one razor a week.
And the little plastic covers that go on top of them, you leave them scattered everywhere too.
I am one razor a week. I use one razor for a whole week because all Daddy has to shave
One
is
razor
down
a
here.
week does not solve this.
Yes, it
No, it
does.
doesn't.
Again, she's like her dad telling me what. I guess apparently you shaved my face.
Anyway, the point is, I had to organize the pantry because you had just stuffed
dude.
it with so much bulk goods.
No, dude, she is on this freaking mission. Everything goes in a box. Gotta have a box. Gotta have a container. And then all of a sudden,
We have this nice big house. I don't want it to be jumped up.
all of a sudden, we get a knock at the door. It's a UPS driver, and there's all these boxes. And I'm like, what the hell is this? Dude, it's boxes and containers for the fridge. Now there's shit. So now she has like the fancy clear egg
Baby,
holders.
if we're gonna have enough food,
Put the
to have
fucking
10
carton- it's
people
already
stay
in a
overnight,
container.
We have to keep it organized.
So but that's what drives me crazy about her, dude. She creates more work for herself.
If you
and
want
then
to
when
run
she's
a bed and
tired,
breakfast,
I'm
it's
the
gotta
asshole.
be organized.
I'm the asshole when she's like, oh my God, I'm exhausted. Well, nobody told you to take eggs out of a carton and remove them out of that carton and put them in another carton. You just created more work for yourself.
I want everyone to be, all the guests, to be able to see all of the food in the pantry,
Oh my
in the
God, dude.
refrigerator, so that they can help themselves.
Okay, I have no problem with that. If that's what you want to do, okay, I have no problem with that.
I did
My
it.
issue.
Why would you care?
Why would I care? Because it's a pain in the ass.
You don't have to do
Who the
it.
fuck
I'm
takes
the one who
pickles
does it.
and pours them in a new jar?
Well, that one I
You do
did.
that? Rick
That
does
one I did because it looks pretty.
Listen, I'm not allowed to be on Team Steve anymore.
that?
Shit in our household.
Okay, again, I don't have an issue. If you want to organize things, right?
That was my thing, is why are you bitching?
then
I'm the one who does it
I'm
anyway.
bitching for 2 reasons.
Why?
Number one,
Okay. I'm
we,
listening.
We have we have priorities in that home to take care of, to spend our time on, other than organizing.
I would agree with that. I went to IKEA and they had them and I got a little carried away. I will
little?
give you that. I will give
A
you
little?
that.
So then,
But the jars look really pretty, y'all.
dude, and then, okay, so I don't have a problem with that, all right? You want to
Okay.
organize later on when we have our shit together. Those
No,
are details.
Later on.
Those are details.
There's a baby going to be here in 3-4 months. There is no later on.
And that baby cannot go into a pantry and see how pretty those things are. That baby needs a mattress. That baby needs the walls painted. That baby needs a bed and furniture in her room.
I ordered
so
furniture.
That's what I'm saying. So there are other priorities. So that's number one,
Okay.
that I get frustrated. Number two, I get frustrated because you do not have the energy that you normally have. You're pregnant. By the way, this sucks, dude, doing this podcast with you pregnant, because you always get she's pregnant. Leave her alone. Like, it's so unfair to me.
No, you know
Like,
the
I will
words,
never
you know the
win.
words that
I
came
will
out of your
never
mouth?
win.
You told me, you go, this pregnancy has been really hard on me.
Yes,
Before you
yes.
got pregnant, you
Yes.
promised that you were still going to do everything and you weren't going to complain. I
And
was
she
like,
has complained every fucking second.
I haven't.
Every second.
when I go up a flight of stairs, I say, I'm a little out of breath.
And by
Or
the
when
way-
I got dizzy the other
okay,
day,
so
I
can
said
I-
dizzy. But I don't complain. You, I think, are having a hard time
Can I-
because we are
can
now
I please?
5 months in.
Can I
That
please?
you've had to pick up some slack that you were not used to.
Pick up some slack?
And 5 months
Guy,
in, it's wearing thin.
I do everything. I've had several DMs of women like, oh my God, I'm sorry for you. Oh my God, Steve, she is spoiled. I don't want to show them. I don't want to call them people out. I don't want to call the people out. But there's people that feel sorry for me.
Do they all live in Canada?
So
They're all mail order brides.
Let me finish. Let me finish. Stay out of it, Rick. This is turning bad. So let me finish saying what I'm saying.
Okay, go.
So I get frustrated because you say, I'm tired and I'm exhausted. I'm like, you didn't have, nobody, there is no organize the pantry police. You're not going to get a ticket. You're not going to get fined.
I agree.
Nothing's going to happen.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed organizing
And then,
the
so
pantry.
then what happens is you organize the pantry, right? And you use up all your, it's like a little video game. You see the energy going down, right? You use up all your energy and then you're mad at me. And then you're like, well, I'm tired and I'm exhausted. And I'm like, nobody told you that you had to organize the pantry.
No, and nobody said we have to have a house full of guests on rotation constantly. We have been in
You
the
keep
house
bringing
for,
this up.
We have
You
been
keep
in the
bringing this
house
up. Is this what you want to
for-
talk about?
Yes.
Go ahead.
We have been in the house for
Yep.
exactly a month, almost
Yes.
to the day.
Yes.
And that whole entire time, we have gone 7 nights at most without guests in our home.
I agree. Yes, I understand that.
And I am pregnant, and it is hot, and I just want to walk around in my own house without a
Okay,
bra.
one of those weeks was your parents. See or no?
Yeah, so then I don't wear a bra.
Okay, so one one of those.
I just want to be like a fat pregnant lady in my home.
Oh, okay, I understand that. But one of those weeks was your parents. Okay, see or no?
Yes.
They didn't have to come, did they? You could have told them to stay home. So that's 2 weeks that we would have been open. So you chose.
They were there 3 days.
Oh my God! See what I
They
mean?
were
When
there-
it's her
they stayed
family,
3 nights.
when it's her family, oh, of course
stayed
they're
3 nights.
welcome.
Okay,
of
no,
course.
but
Well,
here-
that's different.
here, look.
It's when your piece of shit family comes
Shush!
over.
No. This is the real issue. I don't want to bring up the thermostat again, but the thermostat
God.
upstairs gets to live at 72 or whatever the guests
No.
want to put it on, and you do not say a word. But
They're
the pregnant
guests.
wife is in her bed sweating, no blankets, no
Sweating,
sheets.
guy, sweating.
Yes.
Really?
Because you won't let me turn the
Okay.
thermostat below 74.
Two things.
Why are they allowed? I'm gonna go sleep upstairs with them because they can have it cold upstairs.
That would be awesome. that would be fantastic. But there's no beds upstairs because you haven't got them. 2 things. Okay. Number 1, I have been on the road every weekend of my life. Would you not agree with that?
Yes, absolutely.
And the only time I get to come home is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Now, with the Rona,
Yes.
we were in isolation. We were locked up. No family were staying over.
Yes.
See or no?
That's correct.
Okay. So I finally buy this big, beautiful home. I finally have weekends off, and I would like to spend time with my parents.
I
My
understand
sister,
that. I understand
Which,
that.
by the way, my dad calls up and
so
says,
maybe the compromise is if they can have the thermostat on 72, so can I.
oh my God, dude, she's acts like, have I not turned it down for you when you've asked?
To 74.
To 72. You asked 73.
74.
Oh my God, you're making me seem like I'm this thermostat Nazi.
You are.
Okay, I'll
And
make
they
you a
even
deal.
put the fan-
I'll make you a
How
deal.
many times?
When you leave a room, turn off the ceiling fan. That's the that is the
I have to use the ceiling fan because this house
Okay.
is so freaking hot.
when you leave. That's so hot.
Y'all, it's over 100 degrees on a regular basis in
Not
Texas.
inside. It's 75 with the fans, which brings it down to 72.
No, that does not.
Yes, it does.
Then the thermostat would read 72
So,
and it doesn't.
okay, when you leave a room, I walk around the house, every fan's on, every light's on, and I'm like, can we?
He has been asking me nonstop, did you turn off the fan? Did you turn off the fan? Every time.
I'm afraid
no.
of her. I
From
have to
now
go.
on-
I have to go. Hey, sweetheart, let's not forget the fan. Like, I have to find different ways to be like,
No,
hey,
how about
buddy,
every
pal.
time you ask me
Like,
if I turn off the fan, I ask you, did you pick up your clothes off the ground?
they are off the ground.
No, they're
now,
not.
This
the
is the difference.
toilet room always has shorts on
This
the
is
ground.
the difference between how husbands handle things and how women speak wife, right?
Okay.
I go, hey, if it's okay with you, can you? I go. The biggest sucker of energy is the ceiling fans. I go, when you're not in that room, it is not providing any other service. So please turn it off,
The
right?
guests aren't getting lectures about their ceiling fan.
They turn them off.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Every ceiling fan, dude. Every ceiling fan's running, and Renae's just la-di-da, walking around the house.
I am hot. I am hot right now as we speak.
Dude, the other day she lit the gas stove with a $100 bill. She was like, fuck it. Like, let's free. It's free.
No, it's about the same cost of the bottle of wine you drank.
So anyway,
Oh.
and I enjoyed it.
I enjoy the fan.
I enjoy
Being
burning
in a-
hundreds.
Sleeping in a nice cold room.
No, but you enjoy the fan when it's in the other room. You just want to leave it on. Turn it off.
To keep it circulating, so it's not like stuffy and stale.
Do you not understand? She doesn't understand how a fan works. So back to the thing when I was saying that at the Trevino house, things are gonna change. Okay? Because I have this beautiful tree in the front yard, and it has the perfect arm that comes out. And I'm gonna hang a swing there. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yes.
So I told Renae when we first moved in, that's what I want to do, find a swing. No progress has been made.
I found your
I drove
swing.
around, let me finish. I drove around New Braunfels. I found one ready to go. I don't have to wait to be delivered. There's no delivery date. I can throw it in Big Daddy's truck.
It's like big and bulky and
let
ugly.
Let me finish.
We don't have a lot of options in New Braunfels, so you need to stop shopping there.
I come home, and I'm such a puss, I have a picture of it. Instead of pulling the trigger and just buying it, I have a picture of it, and that's what I tell her. This is how things are going to change. I said, you have 2 weeks, or I'm buying this one. You have 2 weeks to come to me and say that I have made a decision and this is the one I bought, or I'm buying this one. Here's the crazy part. You ready for this? She comes to me and she has all these fucking swings on Pinterest. And she's like, well, here's the one I picked. It's the same one.
No, it's not.
It's the same one.
No, it's not. Mine is more dainty.
Show the picture, and I'll show my picture. It's the same. Show the picture. Make sure the camera can see it.
Got it.
Oh, here it is. Here it is.
Okay.
Okay, everybody look at her swing. Did we see her swing? Let me see your swing.
Is it really just like yours? Okay, but mine is much cheaper. How much was your swing? That's
Okay,
the question.
Terry, did you see that? There's my swing. It's the same swing.
No, yours is bigger and bulkier.
Look at the swings.
Yours is for sure bigger and bulkier.
You got to be a little embarrassed right now.
Mine was only like $150 because
You-
it's gonna get beat to crap outside anyway.
You think that it's the same swing. I love how quiet you get. Like I'm loving right now that you're like, oh shit. Like
I guess they are very similar.
that's how crazy I am. That's how, dude. That's what I live with. Like she's like, oh my god, no, I gotta pick it out. And then she shows me that thing, and I'm like,
Okay, but how much was yours? Because you're bad about that. You'll just like walk in and be like, I want it and I want it now, and you will overpay for that tank top 10 times over.
I will overpay because my time is worth money. Because it's not worth the 3 weeks on Pinterest trying to save myself $50.
It's more than $50 difference, I'm
No,
sure.
I will make sure that that swing is up, problem solved, let's go. So, guess what? I brought that up it's almost a week. This next week, Wednesday,
Uh-huh. If I don't have a swing ordered.
time's up, homie.
Okay, but
Daddy's
can
gonna
we
go
go
buy
back
it.
to the TV console? Because that's just what I really want to get a hard confirmation on.
I don't understand, like, what is it? I said, pull the trigger.
Okay.
I'm fine with it.
Okay.
I'm happy with it. I told you I was happy with it.
Okay.
And the fact that you come in here and try to throw me under the bus, see, because you're building your Captain Evil army.
No, because.
And I
you
can't believe some of the
did
comments.
TV.
Some of the comments are like, "Steve was right, but I'm still Team Captain Evil." Like, just to let you know.
Oh no! But one of the other guys said he said it's the tank top army.
Oh no! Now we have a tank top army.
Team, the tank top army.
We're gonna get the guys out with the tank top army, dudes that are starting to realize that why have sleeves? What's the point? Why have sleeves? So anyway, so I wanted to talk about that. So I'm glad we cleared up
Okay.
the fact that.
We didn't clear up the thermostat though.
So
72.
that's fine. Whatever you want, Renae. Whatever you want. Whatever makes you happy. I'll just pay and pay and pay. And then
Well, let's just shut down the whole upstairs and then we'll keep the downstairs at 72.
It doesn't work that way.
Well, I mean, we
Because
can turn
now,
it high upstairs.
because now the
and turn off the lights and the fans all upstairs, and we'll just keep it cool downstairs.
all I'm saying is make an effort to turn off lights. Turn
I
off.
am the one who turns off the lights when we leave the house. You'll be like, I'm ready to go when you walk out, and meanwhile, I'm like loading up Garrett
and let me
and
tell
his
you what else
water
she does.
bottle and walking around,
Let me tell you
turning
what
off all
else
the
she does.
lights.
First thing in the morning, she opens up every window, every blind. And I'm like, you do realize, oh, then this is, oh my God.
What nasty baby.
This is, I forgot about this. We have in our restroom, above the garden tub, you know how you have that little corner with the big master bedroom tub? Above it are these brick, you know those like blurry glass bricks? That's what the two windows are.
The square blocks.
Yes. And because of that, the sun in the morning to afternoon goes directly through that, and it actually kind of magnifies the sun because of the way that they are. And since we moved in, we're this one, it's hot in this restroom. And me, being the genius that I am, I go, it's those windows. I go, so, I told her, so, pick out curtains, pick out blinds, whatever you want. I go, but they need to be covered. If you have a problem with it being hot in here, there's your culprit, right?
And I said, I don't think kids in a bathtub with curtains is smart. I think blinds are a better option. And I sent you a picture of the ones I like.
No, dude.
At Lowe's.
So then today, she's blow drying her hair, and she's like, oh my God, it's so hot in here. And I go, there's the problem. I go, buy curtains. And she goes, well, no, we don't want curtains. We want blinds. I go, it would already be done if I was allowed to make decisions. But since I am not in charge of decisions, sweat.
I sent you pictures so you can go buy them.
You can't.
You can go to Lowe's
See
and buy
how
the
she's turning
blinds.
this around, dude? See how she's like, somehow it's my fault? Man.
I have it in a text message.
I want to see you
I
and your
have
dad go
evidence.
at it.
I
I
have
want to see
text
you and your
message
dad.
evidence.
I want you and your dad just to go at it, and then me and your mom can just sit back and just just go, look at these idiots. They have to be right so bad. Like, it's unbelievable. We performed in our backyard, Freiheit Country Store.
I was like, what? You performed in your backyard?
Freiheit Country Store. Thank you to the staff over there and Cody, the owner, and it was just an experience. But something really special happened.
Oh my gosh, yes, I completely forgot about that. We
dude.
totally have to talk about this.
It was one of the coolest things. And by the way, you know, we talked about Pollito from Home Depot.
Yes, if you saw the episode where Steve does his impersonation of Pollito at Home Depot.
It did. It broke.
A woman who was a longtime fan of yours, and she says she's been bringing family to see your show.
Okay,
and
first of all,
sharing the podcast.
I walk on stage, and we were having to sell entire tables, which was a bummer for me because, you know, some people don't have another couple to bring out, or they don't have another 3 couples to bring out because we were selling tables of 4 and tables of 6. So it does bum me out that, you know, we do get these fans that go, we can't afford to buy a whole table and we don't have somebody to go with us. So for those of you, I want you to know that I hear you and I wish that we could have done something different. But I walk on stage, a table of 8, and I see Pollito. Dude, like second row. And he's like, hey, dude! Like, he's like, hey, bro! Right? And I go into the material about me at Home Depot, and you could just see, like, through his mask, you could see a smile come to the other side, right? And all the people at the table were like, Pollito, right? And I'm like, I see you, Pollito, right? And then everybody like, oh, right. Oh, right. And I'm like, man, how cool is it that Pollito came?
Yes.
So then, you know, because we're trying not to expose ourselves and we're trying to be as responsible as possible, I immediately go to the green room. And in this case, it's the half of the restaurant that's closed off for me. So I go back there and Renae comes running back and she's like, hey, do you care if Pollito comes back here? And I was like, well, what's going on? So now you can take it from there.
Yeah, so the lady stopped me and she explained that she was a huge fan. She's always bringing people to see your shows and trying to turn new people onto you. She went to Home Depot and found Pollito to bring him to the show. He told me, he was like, I just met this woman 2 weeks ago. And like, she did her work. She showed up. He happened to be on vacation that week. So he wasn't even there. So she
doesn't know his name other than what I described and Pollito.
And explains to the paint counter, like, I'm trying to find this person because they talked about him on the podcast.
They're like, oh, Pollito? Yeah, dude. Yeah, pencil mustache, hair slicked back. I know who that is,
Yeah,
right?
so she left her number and said, "Please have him call me." And he's like, "Uh-oh, why is this woman asking me to call her?"
Pollito came, and then I think it was his brother who was a Vietnam vet. So at the end of my show, as you know, I always give it up for veterans. And God, if I see a Vietnam vet, like my dad, like that's, and he's wearing his Vietnam vet hat. So we give it up to him. And I mean, the guy gets a standing ovation for being a Vietnam vet who's Pollito's brother. And I remember at this point, I don't know that somebody has invited, one of our fans has invited Pollito to come, which by the way.
went and seeked him out.
Right. And
he hadn't even seen the podcast. She was like, "Look, they talk about you on the podcast. You got to see it."
So I told Renae, I'm like, of course, bring him back, right? Dude, he comes in that room like he was shot out of a cannon.
Yeah.
D. Bush and my friend Travis Bush, who I went to high school with, were back there. And Pollito shows up, and he's like, "I want my royalties, bro. Hey, how much money am I making, bro?" Like, I mean, just, dude, he was killing it.
He's making everyone laugh.
Oh my God, dude, he's making everybody laugh. And then he goes, "Yeah, bro, all these husbands, they come in and they say, I want that color." And he's like, "Hey, I'm not gonna mix it until you get confirmation from your wife, bro," right? Like, he already knows.
Oh, because you gave him a hard time because you said he gave you the wrong paint.
Oh, I go, Pollito, you got me in trouble, dude. You got me satin. I didn't need satin.
You
and, he
need
goes,
black, yeah.
and he goes, "Well, you're the stupid one that didn't talk to your wife." Dude, he's killing it. And then he, like, you want to talk about a moment in life that, when I tell you I got emotional, I'm getting emotional right now thinking about it. I mean, dude, the guy goes, "What I wouldn't get," he goes, "All these guys come into Home Depot and they complain about their honeydews and they complain that their wife made them come here." He goes, "What I wouldn't give to have a honeydew."
For a list of honeydews.
He said, "My wife is in heaven." He goes, "And nothing would make me happier than to have a honeydew." And he goes, "And I miss her every single day." And then, of course,
you're gonna make me cry.
Because I'm so fucked up, my comment was, "That's why I'm dying first." I go, that's why I drink. That's why I drink. Because I'm dying first. No way I'm living on this earth without my wife. I'm fucking dying first. But it really.
The sweetest. I mean,
you've got Dr. Z from Green Med Spa. Dr. Shaw and his wife. You got Travis and his wife, and then Travis had another couple back there. And you
just felt every word he said.
Dude, everybody stopped, and then Travis started to clap for him.
Yeah.
Like, he was like, "Dude, well said." And it was just, it's one of those moments where you go, you can't take things for granted, right? Because when he said that, it's like, man, I can't imagine life without you, and I can't imagine
without all my bitching and complaining.
Yeah, like there's gonna come a day if you pass that I have to make my own decisions, and I'll be like, "But this isn't fun." You know what I mean? I'm gonna be like Freddie Mercury, where I'm gonna be like, "Nobody was there to tell me no. Nobody was there to bitch at me. Nobody was there, But it was just a really special moment. And did you get the fan's name?
I did. Yeah, she commented on my.
What's her name?
On
so
my
we can
Facebook
shout her
post.
out.
I don't think her Facebook name is her actual name, but she's a nurse there in town in New Braunfels.
So she's so beautiful, and thank you for doing that for me and Renae, because it really touched us, and you find moments like that in life that
I just couldn't believe that she was there at the show with her husband. She's married too, and she had her daughter there and her daughter's husband. But just that she went to Home Depot and was like, "I'm gonna find this guy. He needs to come to the show."
You know what's crazy is that as we're doing shows post podcast, it's like we have all these new friends on a really personal level.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where, of course, I want the podcast to grow and be huge, but it's also like, hey man, we got our little club here. You know what I mean? Because we read the comments and we get comments still. But did you die? Like, shut your mouth. You know what I mean? And then
that's my favorite. But did you die?
But did you die? So it's becoming, this podcast is becoming really special, and when Renae comes to me and she goes, "I need the keys to the car," and I go, "What's going on?" She goes, "Oh, well, a woman brought me
Oh yeah, someone made me baby onesies. It said like rainbow baby on one, and then the other one had because we shared her name on the
Hashtag
podcast.
Bub,
Yeah.
which is back up, bitch. And I was like, oh my God, dude, that is freaking
She's
awesome.
like her nickname from now on is Bub.
But to have these people who care about us like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to go out of their way to bring us gifts, to
Like my cup. Look at this.
oh yeah, who gave you that one? Everybody's just getting shout outs. Like, who else? Give us more shit. We'll talk about you.
No.
I told her, I go, that looks like a Mexican
cup.
candle. Right? It totally looks like a Mexican candle, but it's awesome. It's awesome.
I love it.
And of course, she's like walking around with this, are you Captain Eva? Oh, how'd you know? How did you recognize me? I wonder how you recognize me.
Like J-Lo has her blinged out cup. I have my cup, my bougie on a budget cup.
Baby, you're better than J-Lo, mama. You're better than J-Lo. You're on husband number one and staying that way. But it's just, it was really special that people do that, and what she did with Pollito, and then you think about it, like had she not done that,
Mm-hmm.
I would not have had that moment when Pollito said what he said.
No.
And there's times in life that you hear somebody say something and it's very real, and it was very honest, and you look at this man who, gosh man, he's such a hard worker. The guy, you go to Home Depot and he's got the shirt tucked in, and he's
just such a good energy.
Oh, he's got a smile on his face, and he's there to help, and he loves his job, and there's not many of those in this world.
Yeah.
That you find.
I was like, why didn't
that.
we think to invite him? Like, you know what I mean? Just the fact that the woman
Because
thought
we're
about this.
horrible
We never-
people. We're horrible humans. But and then you were like, oh my God, somebody gave us this gift, and it was these little onesies that, oh my God, thank you, because people have no idea how much me and you are like. We're always so. I can't think of the word. Like, it's part surprised. It's part honored and blessed, feeling blessed,
Yeah.
and just like, oh my God, why would somebody do this for us?
No.
And it's like, wow, man, I feel like they've given us so much already. So that, and I'm not, me, I'm not a receiver.
No. You're
I
really
have-
weird about gifts.
I'm not good with gifts, Rick.
Yeah.
I like to be the giver. I like the guy. I'm the guy that gives people
Gifts
things.
make you very
and
uncomfortable.
And that gives people gifts and goes out of my way for them. So that when somebody does that for me, it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't even do it for me. They did it for you.
Yeah.
But it was like, wow. So we're always so appreciative of those gifts. But please understand that you buying a ticket, you watching the podcast, man, those are gifts enough for me and my wife and our family. And it really gets to the point where, man, I don't know how to give back. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like my dad used to always say, don't be a rake. Right? Joe Trevino used to always say, don't be a rake. And I'd be like, what the fuck does that mean? He goes, well, rake, so everything comes to you. He goes, don't be a rake.
Yeah.
You gotta give back, So at this point in my career and what we're doing, it does feel like, I'm the lucky one, and we're the lucky ones, and that we're constantly taking, and we hope that is not the case, and I try my very best to put on the best shows that I can, give back to the veterans, Helicopters for Heroes. We find times for our nieces, where we throw them a couple extra bones because they babysat or something, or we just try to give back, and it was just such an emotional moment with Pollito and the fan doing that for us, and you all of a sudden having these onesies, and it's like, what? Like, wow. Yeah. That's why I think that we should do a charity baby shower.
Yeah, we've talked about that, like figuring out how we would do that.
Do like a charity, baby shower or something where we have a virtual baby shower and all the gifts get given to somebody.
Yeah.
Right, or something, or something like that. So that's what I wanted to talk about this week, and I think that we've decided that I guess 72 is the temperature. We decided that from now on you will have 2 weeks to make a decision. If you cannot make that decision, bro, because she's such a perfectionist, Rick. Like her dad, where it's like, dude, it's a fucking shelf in the garage. It doesn't have to fit perfect. And then Renee's the same way, where it's like, well, I don't know. And she cannot make decisions. And it drives me insane. So now, 2-week time limits. The clock is ticking.
I've made a lot of decisions in the new house.
I'm going to go buy the same swing that you want.
I do make a decision and I pull the trigger in the moment and buy 30 jars and 10 crates at IKEA. And then I come home and you're like, you think this is a good idea?
Is it? It's more
Our
work.
kitchen looks really, our pantry looks really nice.
If you don't use it, it's unusable.
No, that's not true. It's very well organized. Garrett can go in there and find and see all his snacks, which is going to be very helpful when the baby comes.
It's more work. Why would you take coffee and pour it in a jar? It was already in a jar.
No, because it's going to stay sealed and nice and fresh. That's
it has
important.
a Ziploc, the one we buy.
Yeah, but that doesn't really work. You have to like Ziploc it and then you have to like put it really tight and then you have to put a clip on it. That's like a whole thing. This like suction shut, it's good.
Oh, then Rocky came and cousin Abel and Gloria. They came into town and I learned this past weekend how to wake surf.
Is that what it's called? Is that what
Yeah, it's called wake
called?
surfing.
Yeah.
You know, and Rocky is our cousin too. And it was nice to hear that he was like, because it took me 2 tries. I wakeboarded once. You saw me, which
Yes.
by the way, dude, like my son is watching me try to get up on the wakeboard, and I can't. It's kicking my ass. And they're like, "Hey, Steve, do you want to come in?" And I'm like,
You want to take a break?
They're like, "You want to take a break?" I'm like, "No, my son's watching. I will die out here before I quit." Like, that's not who I am. That's not what I'm trying to raise. I'm trying to set an example. So I finally get up on the wakeboard, and that was a success. And that was last year, 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years
the
ago.
last time they came to visit, yeah.
So then they come, and they're like, okay, this is wake surfing. There is no boots, right? But it's kind of the same concept. In 2 tries, I'm up. And Rocky was like, he's like, it's our family. We're athletic. He's like, I try to teach people how to do that, and they can't. And I was like, I just want to make sure that other people you taught who are non-related had issues. And me and Abel, no problem.
I love how I thought we were done with the episode, but Steve was like, I got to get one more thing in.
Well,
Just so everyone knows, I'm athletic.
Well, I mean, they can see.
Not only do
They
I
have
make
eyes.
decisions, not only do
They
I
have
make
eyes.
decisions
They
quick,
have
but I'm
eyes.
athletic too.
Honey, they have eyes. Okay, they know Daddy's athletic. Okay, I don't even flex. And the other day on one of the videos, like, oh, showing off your traps? No, I'm not. But you noticed. Because if I was showing them off, then you'd know. You'd know.
Okay.
So what else? What else do you want to talk about? Because we've talked a lot. We
We
argued
have talked
again.
about today.
I don't know why I like to argue.
I don't like to argue. I started this episode very quiet with nothing to say about your wardrobe.
And then the bitch took her
choices.
earrings
Like-
off. She was like, you know what, bro? Hey, you know what?
Calm down.
Hey, we're gonna make this happen here. We're gonna get my earrings off for this. Oh, but then we did find out that you doing a home birth is not a good idea.
Well, we still have not
Oh
gone.
my God, dude! Several
and-
messages. The majority of Team Captain Evil, your team.
People,
Captain Evil
obviously,
Army.
obviously there are risks and concerns. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna do 72, and we're not doing a home birth. Can we agree today that we're gonna go to the hospital
Okay.
because it's 2020 and they have them?
Yeah.
And I don't mean
But
to be a
then
jerk.
you were the only one allowed there in the hospital with me.
I'm fine with that.
That's all that the
I'm fine
hospital
with
is
that.
allowing. It's just you and me.
Now,
so then we have to be on the same page of how we want things to
and
go
I
down in
shouldn't
that
bring
room.
this up because I know I'm about to kick myself in the fucking ass. Here's your 2 options. Okay? If you're gonna have a home birth, you can pay to have an ambulance on standby.
Yes, I saw someone say that.
Yeah.
You pay to have an ambulance parked out front of your house.
However,
But there's also a place in town that is like a birthing center that happens to be like right across the street from the hospital, and
However-
they partner with your doctor.
However, several, and I hate to do this to you, several of the Captain Evil Army said that you are a geriatric They said that she's considered
If I'm
geriatric.
geriatric, then what does that make you?
Not having a baby. That's what that makes me. Not delivering a baby. Hey, I had to carry our daughter around for several weeks.
Oh my goodness.
For several weeks, she was swimming
my
down there,
goodness.
and I had to carry her around all over the place.
Sounds like a lot of hard work.
We have
Where do you guys stand on the placenta? Any movement there?
the placenta. We're not.
No, do you know what? Someone actually hit me up. There's a company that does it.
Oh,
and
she's like, oh, we'll do it for free.
she said, we'll do it for you. If you want to do it, we'll do it for you.
She already has them. They're not even. She's like,
No!
ship them this bullshit. Make her happy.
No.
We want to plug.
Really good and plug these.
Yeah. Like, why are they shaped like Flintstones? That's how old I am, like Flintstones. So yeah,
I think I'm going to do the placenta encapsulation. Yes.
look, that has no risk. If you want to do that, feel free to do that.
If you know what someone did say, but you have to have like there are things that can happen that make your placenta not a good option for encapsulation. So we'll have to see when I have my placenta if it's good for encapsulation.
Okay, well, I'll send a soldier in there to inspect. So yeah, so that's where we stand.
But what we haven't talked about
Oh shit, dude.
is well, no, because that's the thing, right? Is only you can be at the hospital with me in the room. So Garrett getting to meet the new baby and have that time, just Garrett and the baby and him being the first one. And I feel like
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
historically, all of our family is gonna want to be there
Okay,
when
so,
we
but let
come
me ask you a
home.
question. So if we're doing this at home, where's Garrett, dude? In his room, freaking out? Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. That's a bad experience for a 4.5-year-old.
There are birthing centers as well.
And
It's
mom's
like an
downstairs.
option.
Like, dude, you're 4.5. Like, what are they doing to my
No,
mom?
but it's also
Like,
a very like natural human process. Like I agree that he's a little young to see that and experience that. That might be a little scary for him, but I just feel like it's a very natural thing. Why are we like talking about it like it's so weird? Like we can't look.
and I don't want to forget,
You totally just changed the subject.
because we're not doing it. You're geriatric, dude. You're geriatric.
No, but I was talking about like Garrett getting to meet the baby
Renae,
for the first time.
You're already getting AARP.
Shush your mouth. Shush your mouth. No.
So, I also wanted to shout out Eric Davila.
Oh, painted Garrett's room.
Oh man, he did such a wonderful job in Garrett's room, painting that mural, and,
Yes.
and it was just awesome. And
But you totally just avoided the conversation of how many people are going to be at our house when I come home with that baby from the hospital.
look, you know as well as I do, it's completely up to you. In that department, I will let you run the show.
No,
because-
I came home with Garrett to a house full of guests, and then
Okay,
you
first
even
of all,
suggested that 4
no,
days later, some of our
no.
friends from Northern California come and stay too.
No,
because
first
we can
of
cause
all-
pumpkins.
First of all, we needed my mom there to help us because I was on the road. Number
Yes.
one.
Yes.
Number two, we had already decided that because my mom was there, it was going to be the first week was going to be the Treviños because we were at that point living in LA.
Yeah.
Well, who showed up? Who showed up 2 days later? Mamma Mia.
No, my parents already had their flights booked. Flights were booked.
Oh my God, dude.
Flights were booked.
Renae, baby.
Because they got there the next day after he
Please.
was born, because their flight was
the
already
next
booked.
day. How is their flight already booked the next day? Do
They
they have a crystal ball?
They had planned to
Did
come
they
for
know?
2 weeks.
Did they know?
You don't remember anything. They planned to come for 2 weeks, and they were going to be there the week before Garrett was born, and then the first week
I
after
find
he
it
was
very
born.
interesting that
But
when
he
it
came
comes to
early.
your family, the memories that you have. When it comes to my family, I don't
No, it's
What do
not,
you mean? I don't
no,
remember.
it's not a your family versus my family. I was trying to have a discussion about what are we going to do, you, me, and Garrett, if we're doing a hospital birth and he can't come to the hospital, and that
Then-
transition home with him.
Then
That's what I'm saying.
then in my opinion, the right thing to do is to have your parents at our house with our son. I think that is the right thing to do because they are your parents. You're the one having the baby, right?
Yeah,
And Garrett with your parents.
yeah.
And then that way, when we come home with the baby, your parents get to be first.
It's not about who gets to be first. I also think there's something to like, I've heard of people saying just the family for a minute, like just you, me, and Garrett adjusting to life, us three with the new baby.
Well, that's fine too. Look, again, make the call. Tell me what to do. And because I
know you. We make a plan, and then Steve Trevino just goes and does whatever he wants anyway.
I think because you're having the baby and you just delivered a baby that you should make the decision as to how it goes down.
Okay, so I'm going to squeak that for all it's worth.
When don't you? When don't you take every piece? You give this woman an inch and she'll take a mile. So again, pretty girl,
Yes.
it's your call.
Okay.
However,
But hospital birth.
you have to make that call in month number 8. You can't make the call the day of, because by then, daddy's already made plans.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Okay.
Okay. This episode's probably...
What does that look?
Here's what's crazy about these episodes. Every episode, I'm like, that's the worst episode. I'm like, oh my God, dude, who's going to watch this shit? Dude, and then I'm like, okay, like we get nervous like before they come out. I'm like, oh my God, dude, like who knows what these people are gonna think of us? Like they're gonna think we're freaking out of our minds. And then people are like, best episode yet, hilarious, you guys are crazy, we love it. And then I'm like, really? Let's end this episode. I'm like, oh my God, what happened?
I kept asking you for the last 2 weeks, what are we gonna talk about? And you didn't want to tell me.
And I tried to bring up topics, and you got aggressive.
You didn't bring up topics. You brought up a list of the ways you could shit on your wife.
I wanted people to see that your dad is you.
That I am my father.
And when
I
your
am my
dad
father's
and mom
daughter.
come to visit,
Yes.
I've got 2 yous at the house.
I am my father's daughter. Yes.
It's I'm at the point where I'm like, sure, Raymond, absolutely, right. Yep, you got it, dude. Like I do with her. Yep, it's not worth arguing. That we're not gonna come to he's not gonna see it my way ever.
Oh my God, you didn't say what happened with his phone.
Oh my God, dude. Hilarious. Hilarious.
I'm bummed I missed it. I wasn't there.
What was in my truck that he needed? There was
Your keys.
No. Something that was in my truck that he needed. So we have something in the truck that he needs. They're leaving. It's Sunday. They're about to leave. And I'm outside finishing cleaning the garage. And all of a sudden, they're like, okay, bye. And then they leave. And all of a sudden, they come back. And I'm like, what's going on, guys? And Mary's like, oh my God, I left my phone here. I left my phone here. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll help you look for it, right? So she's looking for it. She can't find it. And we go back outside because me, her, and Garrett are trying to find her phone. We go back outside, and Daddy Raymond, like Captain Evil over here, is like, come on, Mary. You don't know where your phone is? I know where my phone is. I got my phone right here, right? Like he's letting her have it, dude. And I go, well, Mary, let me call your phone. I call her phone. Raymond has it, dude. And he's like, why are you calling me? And I go, it says Mary right here, dude. I go, and he goes, oh shit, where's my phone? And then, dude, are you ready? He goes, what did you do, Steve? I go, what did I do, right? So then we get a phone call from a person in our neighborhood to Mary's phone saying, hey, we found your phone and a set of keys, right? So I'm like, oh crap, right? So they go back, and I'm like, all right, guys, later, hope you get your phone. They come back, and Raymond's like, here's your keys. They were your keys. You fucked up. Why did you put your keys on my bumper? And I go, oh, dude. I go, do you remember you asking me for my keys so that you could get something out of my truck? I don't think so. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, oh my God, let's just take responsibility. It's so easy to go, hey man, I fucked up. I made a mistake. Maybe that wasn't a good idea. It's so easy. Like I wish just once that one of these people in this family would just go, hey, I made a mistake. You know what? I thought it was a good idea and it's not.
Okay, but the pantry looks really pretty.
You're gonna have to show people on your Instagram next week. Oh my God, dude. All right. What an episode. What do we need to work on?
Apparently, I have we've learned that I have a 2-week time limit
Yep.
to make decisions, but the thermostat gets to live at 72.
Oh, by the way, I took a picture of myself wake surfing.
Uh-huh.
The ladies were loving the leg show. A lot of women were like, "Oh my God,
What's not to love, baby?
they're delicious.
What's not to
They're
love?
delicious." So we've got San Angelo, Texas coming up.
Yes.
We've got Miami.
Oh, we're traveling as a family.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that later. But we have Miami coming up, and it'll be my first show
Drive-in.
to do a drive-in like car show. Like,
Yeah.
you know, which by the way, Miami-Dade, I can't imagine the cars that are going to show up. I can't imagine.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many people they're going to put in those cars to go to the show.
And people kept asking, they were like, will you share your dates on the podcast and where you're going to be? And just because of coronavirus and flare-ups, like everything keeps changing.
It keeps changing, but I also feel like, oh my God, here we go. Shameless plug. You know, we don't do this to promote our shows. We do this because we love it, because it helps us, because people enjoy it.
But if people want to know your dates, the website is the best place to go.
We try to keep it as up to date as possible. But San Angelo, Texas is coming up.
Yeah.
We've booked Bryan College Station.
Yes.
We've booked Miami. All those dates are coming up. I don't know if Atlanta is staying on the books.
Oh, Kansas City, right?
Oh, Kansas City is coming up, and Naples, Florida
Yeah.
is coming up. So we're very excited about those shows. And again, people. Oh, and then, this is very exciting.
I was going to say, do we want to share? Can we share that?
Well, I have been doing 30 minutes up front of mine and your lives in quarantine.
Yeah.
Coronavirus material, what we did on our life in quarantine, how life has changed, all the things that we've been through. And we decided that we're going to do film a special of that material, and then me and you would do an hour podcast afterwards. So we're going to be filming that between Austin and San Antonio, and we're going to be letting our fans know so they can come out and watch it happen live.
In the middle of September.
In the middle of September, and then we're going
But social distance guidelines are being
Everything.
followed. I mean, it is a coronavirus special.
Yes, and then we're going to put that out there for you guys at a very fair price so that you can get it and watch it on a nice Friday evening. So
Yeah.
that's exciting.
I'm excited about it because I know the podcast is not for everyone, and you're such a talented guy on stage that I'm excited that people are
Dude.
going to get to see some more of that.
And I know we're supposed to get off, but I get so frustrated when people are like, "Not funny, podcast not funny," and I'm like, "It's really not supposed to be. It's a conversation of me and you, and please don't not be a fan of my stand-up because you're not a fan of the podcast. Like,
Yeah.
I don't understand that because there's plenty of stand-up to look up and watch.
But it's exciting.
You know.
We have more stand-up coming.
Always more.
You
stand-up.
have more stand-up
I love
coming.
being on stage. I think that's it. I'm trying to think if I forgot anybody. I did scare the crap at Dr. Shaw's office. Oh my God, this poor guy, dude. So the other nurse, Ramon, tells me that Randy is deathly, like he freaks out when he's putting needles in people.
He gets real nervous.
He gets real nervous. So he's like, I'm going to film and you yell right when he does it, right? So Shaw comes back, Dr. Z comes back, and of course he's talking to me. And by the way, this guy, you know, if you're in the New Braunfels area, I mean, Dr. Shaw's the best, man.
Greenhouse
Spa, med spa. I don't want to mess up.
I know.
So he's back there talking to me, and I'm gonna get an IV. I get IVs from him every few weeks, and I like my IV to be put in these veins. So I'm sitting there, Ramon's over there recording, and he goes to poke me, and I go, ah! Right? Z freaks out. Randy's like, and I go, just kidding, right? But he ended up poking me, and it didn't work. So now he has to poke me 4 other times because now he's nervous.
Shaking.
And I'm like, the things I do for a laugh, the things I do to be funny.
Everyone knows you're shameless. You'll do anything to be funny.
Wow. Okay. I think we know the title of this episode. On this episode, Steve Trevino is shameless, and we all know that because he'll do anything to get a laugh. Wow. Okay. We gotta go. I love you.
I love you.
You look very beautiful today. I don't know if I told you that. I think that's your color.
Thank you.
And I love when you leave your hair down and wavy. That's how I like it. So keep it that way. You can find Renae at I am Renae with an A
On Instagram.
Yep.
Yes.
And you can find me at stevetrevino.com and on the road. We love you guys. Thank you for watching. But please, please, so that we can continue to do this, like and share. That doesn't cost anything.
Yeah.
Please let people know that this podcast exists and have them join in on our conversation. Thank you.